morning, people. Jeff here. Today, we got to talk about something a little political and a little hard-hitting. If you're not looking for that, please check out right now. You're not going to like this video. That being said, let's dive into this. Now, if you haven't heard already, Gregory Floyd, killed up in Minnesota. He was taken into custody by a police officer. They sat on his neck and choked him to death. Basically put a knee down on his chest, said, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. This is from what I understand. And he ended up being choked to death by the police officer. Now, there's going to be three sections of this. There's going to be actually what happened, what a lot of people are using this as a pretext for, and then, of course, what's going on in Minneapolis right now with all the looting. Number one, what actually happened. Look, I'm going to take this from a completely unbiased, no race involved. I'm just going to say facts on the ground, what happened and what should happen. Look, a cop turned in to a thug with a badge and killed a man who was handcuffed and no threat to him at that point. Now, am I saying all cops are bad? Absolutely not. There are many upon many fine, upstanding police officers at local, state, even some feds, are very upstanding people who do a very difficult job. And I do nothing but shake many of their hands. I've met many upon many Indiana police officers. In fact, the Indiana State police officer could have given me a very hefty, large fine. Instead, he was nice enough to let me off with a warning and a very low-level inspection. He could have hammered my ass to the wall, and he chose not to. He just gave me a warning, a little minor citation. I didn't have to pay anything. I ate some DOT points, and he let me on my merry. I thank that man from the bottom of my heart before I left, because he could have hammered my ass, but because I was, quite respectful of him, yes sir, no sir, aye sir, and gave him everything he wanted with no fuss, no complaint, because I knew I was in the wrong. Because the funny part is I was in a 55 doing 65 because I was trying to get to the Loves that was about 8 miles down the road because I had to pee like a racehorse. And the funny thing is, the next month later, that entire zone got changed to 65 anyways, and I was just like, son of a... That just is a little aside. But the overall point is, most police officers you meet are good, upstanding people just trying to do a job. I'd say 95% of them, great people. And if you don't give them any fuss, they won't give you any fuss. They're just trying to do a job just like anybody else. Now, there are that 5% that are bad apples. Now, the cop that did kill Mr. Floyd, he should be punished to the full rigor of the law. And I'm with Sticks, Hex, and Hammer if you haven't checked this video out on it. Go check him out. I also fully agree. That police officer that stood on that guy's neck for 5 minutes and killed Mr. Floyd should be charged with first-degree murder. He has all the training in the damn world to tell him he shouldn't do that on a person who's really not resisting. He well exceeded the rules of engagement and level of force. He was well past them. And he knows what could happen. He has had that kind of training to tell him what happens when you do that to a human being. That damn cop knew fucking better, and he still did it anyways. And a man is dead. That cop should burn. And all his other butt buddies, who are also thugs with badges, who are standing there watching this shit, should be accessories to that murder and should all go to jail. Because they failed their badge, and they failed us, and did it in one of the worst ways possible, and they should bang for it. They should be sent to jail for life, no parole. I don't care if these men have families. These officers damn well knew better. They should go to goddamn jail for a long goddamn time. That's how I feel about that. Now notice, I didn't even bring up the race of the officer or the race of the person that was killed. I was just standing on the principle that a cop failed his badge and did it in one of the most egregious ways possible and disrespected and completely destroyed the faith that we as people should have in our officers to be professionals and do their jobs right. The man screwed up. Now, I didn't bring up the fact that the cop was white and Mr. Floyd is black. And too many people are sitting here using this terrible tragedy as an excuse to scream, racism, racism, racism. It's like, you all are conflating the goddamn issue. The issue is, the first topic I brought up is a police officer exceeded his authority and killed a person he had in handcuffs and in custody. And to me, it would not matter if that cop had been Asian and Mr. Floyd had been black, or Mr. Floyd had been white and the cop had been black. You could throw me any race or nationality combo you want. It is still fucking wrong. Race should have not a goddamn thing to do with it. Zero. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why racism still exists in this goddamn country, because it's still such a big goddamn issue with a lot of people when it shouldn't be. The overall problem was a police officer killed a man who didn't need to die and abused his authority and abused his badge. Nothing more, nothing less. And to conflate this into a race issue is bullshit. It's disgusting. Now, we come to issue number 3. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the looting happening in Minneapolis right now over Mr. Floyd being killed. This is just a bunch of people throwing a goddamn 2-year-old temper tantrum and using this as a pretext for wanton destruction and looting. You see, if these people truly wanted to, stand up for police brutality against certain peoples, to, change the world, they would take a page out of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and march like this, arm in arm, peacefully protesting, saying, this was wrong, these police officers need to face the full rigor of the law. That would change the world. This, however, running around and not only destroying Minneapolis, Minnesota, but their own goddamn neighborhoods. What sense does that make to send a message of this is bad? You're basically acting like a bunch of thugs and hoodlums your damn selves. Not being nothing but a bunch of fucking hypocrites. You're destroying your own neighborhoods. And you think this is going to change anything for Mr. Floyd or make the race relations any goddamn better? Fuck is the matter with these people? Just a bunch of thugs. Just don't have a badge instead of being a thug with a badge. And being a thug ain't gonna change anything. People fucking disgust me in Minneapolis who are looting right now and rioting. You people disgust me. You're not changing anything. You're not fixing anything. You're just making it worse. And Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. probably rolling in his grave at the thought of you people. If he was alive today, he'd be crying because of how you all acting. Bunch of goddamn thugs. But anyways, that covers my point of view on the whole situation, from what the cops did to this whole race baiting bullshit to the wanton destruction and looting happening in Minneapolis right now. It's just a cycle of wrong to more wrong to even more wrong. It ain't gonna make anything right. Be like the man who got immortalized and had his birthday turned into a federal holiday. He didn't run around acting like a thug. He spoke proudly, powerfully. He dared people, not just black people, but everybody, to change the damn world for the better. What the hell ever happened to that? Maybe we should start bringing some of that back. Anyways, I'm Jeff. That's the first video for today, and I'll catch y'all later.